Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic. How can we automatically generate scientific leaderboards?
That sounds incredibly complex. I mean, scientific papers are notoriously dense. How could a machine possibly make sense of it all, let alone create an accurate leaderboard?
That's exactly what researchers Shruti Singh, Shoaib Alam, Hussein Malwat, and Mayank Singh set out to explore. They created LEGOBench, a new benchmark to evaluate systems that do exactly that, automatically generate scientific leaderboards.
So, what's the big deal with having an automated system to do this? Why not just stick to manual curation?
Great question. The problem is the sheer volume of research being published. The amount of scientific papers is exploding, making it almost impossible for researchers to stay up to date on the latest advancements in their fields. This is information overload on a massive scale.
I can definitely relate to that. Just keeping up with my own niche can feel like a full-time job.
Exactly. So, imagine needing to manually compile leaderboards that compare various algorithms' performance across different datasets and tasks. It's a gargantuan, time-consuming task. Automating this would be a huge game changer for researchers.
Makes sense. So, how exactly does LEGOBench work? What kind of data do they use?
LEGOBench leverages a wealth of data. They curated two main datasets. The first is from PapersWithCode, a repository of machine learning leaderboards. The second is the AR14 Papers Collection, APC, which includes 22 years worth of AR14 preprint data. That's millions of papers, their citations, and even performance comparisons.
Wow, that's a huge dataset. What do they actually do with this data?
They created three main tasks to test different approaches to leaderboard generation. The first, ranking papers based on content and graph, RPG, uses graph-based methods to rank papers based on their performance. They created four subtasks within RPG, varying the type of information used, titles, abstracts, full text, and the type of graph, citation network or performance comparison network.
So they're essentially using the relationships between papers to infer performance?
Precisely. The second task, ranking papers by prompting language models, RPLM, uses large language models, LLMs, to rank papers based on prompts about their performance. The third task, leaderboard entries generation by prompting language models, LGPLM, also uses LLMs, but this time to extract method names and performance scores directly from the paper text and create the leaderboard.
Interesting. It seems like they're evaluating both graph-based methods and language model-based approaches. And how did those approaches do?
Overall, the results were quite revealing. The state-of-the-art models, even the very powerful ones, showed significant performance gaps on all tasks. For example, in the RPG tasks, Kindle's tau correlation values were close to zero, suggesting little correlation between the generated rankings and the ground truth. In the LLM tasks, even the best models struggled to accurately extract scores and generate fully correct leaderboards.
So, it's still a very challenging problem. What do you think the main hurdles are?
One major hurdle is the complexity of scientific papers. Extracting relevant information, especially performance scores, is difficult due to variations in writing style and presentation. Another is dealing with noise in the data. Not all tables and papers contain performance comparisons. Also, there's the issue of bias in citation patterns. Newer, potentially better papers might not get cited as frequently as older ones.
I see. So, what's the takeaway here? What does the future hold for automated scientific leaderboard generation?
The researchers highlight that current models are far from perfect. However, the LEGOBench benchmark provides a much-needed tool to measure progress and track advancements in this area. It's a significant step towards making scientific research more accessible and efficient. Future work could focus on better methods for information extraction, handling noisy data, and mitigating the effects of biases in the data.
That's great. Thanks for breaking it all down for us. This has definitely been an eye-opening discussion.
My pleasure. And to our listeners, stay curious and keep exploring the world of AI and scientific research.